This afternoon I'm come in here and intrude on some of the workers as they do some faux finishing on the walls. I've got Janice here with me, and she's going to do a little narration on what's going on. This whole process they're doing here is really intriguing, so I'll come over here where she can give us a little background on what's going on.
Well, Sandy has put tissue paper on the wall prior to this. We've taken and applied 20 by 20 pieces of tissue paper. We used over 400 pieces on this room, and it's quite a long process to do, but it's very unique look. It looks kind of like leather or something when you're kind of done. It depends on the technique. It depends on the base that you put on the wall. And then what she's doing now is she's rubbing a glaze on top of her the tissue paper, and what that does is it brings out the lines, the veins that the tissue paper has created. We pre-wrinkled the tissue paper and set it up the days before so that it was already ready and wrinkled, so it's ready to put up immediately. And then now what she's doing is rubbing on the glaze and rubbing off the excess, and that helps bring out all the veining in the tissue paper.
Okay. Now, is this required that you be really good at finger painting in order to do this?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. But I didn't check her skill.
You didn't check the finger painting skills, okay.
But I've worked with her for 8 years, so I kind of know. And the trick about this is the touch. Like, I can't help her do this.
Yes.
Because she has her own touch and I have my own touch. So she is doing all of this effect throughout the whole house. And I'm doing the other effects throughout the whole house, which will show you.
And we'll take a look at some of that here shortly. So now you've done a number of the walls around the room here now.
Yes.
And I'll pan around. Some of these will show. These are some of the walls around here. And then you've done paper on the ceiling already, the tissue paper effect, which doesn't really show now until we get in here and do that, the ragging effect on this and the wiping.
And this is a very, very fast drying product. You have minutes to do it. And so she gets to do it in a minute because it's a little slower than her.
So is this a water-based product?
It is a water-based product. It can be washed with water and soap, but it dries very hard.
Okay.
So it can be washed and scrubbed
is there
later.
Is there a finish that's put over top of this?
No,
a sealer or
this
anything?
Is a glaze, so
it's a glaze, so it's its final
process.
piece.
Not necessary. It can be scrubbed.
Okay, and I don't know if our film is doing justice to this, but it's, for those of you who can see this is really makes an intriguing look on the walls.
It dries a little bit darker than what you're going to see here, just because as the glaze dries, it will dry just a touch darker. The customer likes it very light. We're applying it very light.
So, but you can see in this video how this is almost invisible, the tissue that's on the wall, until we get this finish on here, and then it
really
just brings up all the highlights and lowlights in it.
But you can see it's a very labor intensive.
It really is. I can see that. I can't wait to see the ceiling done later. So we have different walls done here. This is the wall, and these moldings that you have here, you're going to do a finish on those also?
Yeah, just antique them and make them look, old and Tuscan look. I don't want to leave them white because they kind of stand out for me. So we'll do a glaze on it also. It will be a different technique.
Well, that's great. That's great. And then you're going to show me some things about doing glaze on the kitchen cabinets here in just a few minutes. That's great. Well, we'll call it good at that.